Hey everyone, Graham back here in my garage. So I've stripped the gearbox from my last videos. I've done some cleaning of the parts. You can see here, center part of the casing, almost as good as new. Nice and clean. The front casing, nice and clean. The side billet for the diff, nice and clean. I've got all my parts covered underneath this blanket, not blanket, cloth, because I've sent the center casing down to a place to remove the last to remove the bearing outer races from it. I don't have the right tool. You need a bearing removal tool, outer edge with some nice sharp edges. But anyway, these are the parts all cleaned up and lined, ready for assembly. I am, however, still waiting on some parts. Those are just the inner needle bearing races that goes inside the gear wheels, the spinning gear wheels, yeah, and not the fixed one. So this is, if I recall correctly, in order: first gear, second gear, third and fourth gear on the output shaft, yeah, and right next to it you've got, on the input shaft, you've got, opposite would be, this would then turn out to be fourth gear, third gear, second gear, and first gear. Yeah, so I've also ordered some new parts on further inspection. You guys can see that what they refer to as the synchro hub, right? Which is the gears, the smaller teeth there. Those are what the slider would fit on when it engages. Wrong way around. No, right way around. Okay. When it engages and it goes like this. Yeah. Goes like this. And then it engages the gear. Okay, it's not going on so lekker now, but okay, let me see if I can do it properly. I don't want to mislead anyone. There you go. So there you heard that nice click into first gear. So first gear, no problem, right? Second gear, right? And that's one of the problems I had. It struggled to engage, really struggled to engage. But here you can see those teeth there. They're all rounded, you know. They're not nice and sharp. So this part, right, that my fingers are on, actually is press fit onto this part, right, with the inner ring of this part on the inside here. This part is press fit onto there. So I'm going to dismantle this whole gear hub assembly. That part is called the synchronizing hub, yeah. And this part above it, which I do have parts for, is called the synchronizing ring. All right. So it took me a while to get used to actually what is in terms of Porsche terminology. And if you buy it from Europe, they call it different as opposed to what they call it in the US. So watch out for that when you order your parts. Make sure you've got the right numbers identified and give some more description. So this is fourth gear. Again, I'll show you beautifully sharp teeth. Yeah, beautifully sharp teeth. Nicely for this shift ring to find itself and clip on beautifully. But I'm going to show you third gear in contrast. A complete mess up. It's even got a groove inside the actual teeth there that shouldn't be there. So I have ordered these parts. The cheaper option with the Rand dollar exchange rate compared to the Rand euro has been to order it from the States here. So I've ordered the third gear ring and the second gear synchro hub. And I've got all the synchro rings for all four of the gears right over there in my spare parts box. And yeah, these needle bearings, I'm just going to clean them up. I don't see any damage, nothing wrong with them. I'll put them in a jar with some not turpentine, what's the other one called? Yeah, the oily one, close to paraffin, like an oily one, to clean it up and keep it moist in the jars there. Let me close my gears up again. Because I've cleaned them and I don't want any dust on them. You know, gearboxes and dirt don't go together. All my parts are nice and clean here. And of course here, you need a glass of wine now and again. And now, I'm busy removing the clutch. And you can see this clutch kind of messed up. All rusted. I don't know if it's, and that can explain why my pedal was so bloody hard and so difficult to maneuver the car in traffic, you know. But nevertheless, I've bought myself a brand new clutch kit from Spec. And this is a Spec 2 Plus version, and that's it. The clutch plate. This particular kit also came with the tool to center the clutch when you install. And I just want to show you the actual product here. There you can see the Spec disc. Slightly lighter than the original Sachs one that's on the car at the moment. Maybe by about 3 to 4 kilograms. And weight does matter when it comes to performance. So I'm quite chuffed to get this all set up and going. But as I say, this job, right, this 911 of mine, hiding underneath the winter blanket here, is about, what is he? about 1980. 44 years old. Okay, and I've had it for 10 years, and I've never replaced the clutch, never opened the gearbox. So you only do this most probably once in your own lifetime. So it's best to do it properly and rather take time. And if you don't have funds to replace certain parts, then rather just let it sit, save up, and then replace when you can afford to do so. Otherwise, you'll just end up spending more money afterwards. All right, cool. Let me get to work. Thank you. Chat to you again.